My name's Emma Palmer and I'm the Foundation Year Tutor for the Faculty of Arts, Cultures and Education and the Faculty of Business Law and Politics, and this is a case study about community and belonging amongst Foundation Year students. Inclusive education means to me that everyone has an opportunity of getting involved at university. A lot of students come from different backgrounds, they have different experiences, and to an extent, university isn't a one level for them. They will have different coping mechanisms, they will have different ways that they can implement their skills, but for us, it's about equipping them with the tools to get involved in university and make the most of their success during their time here. So I promote inclusivity through various ways. I recently completed my master's where I did a literature review, and I looked at how different characteristics in additional widening participation has an impact on student experience. And some of that is looking at the student's background, not just from an education point of view, but actually their personal point of view. What's the family commitments like? Are they in accommodation? Are they a commuter student? And it's looking at ways that we can be flexible with the students as well. So not just academically, but also ensuring that they're accessing the best support they can. So one way of promoting inclusivity, certainly with the example that I've done about community in terms of belonging, is having something where it doesn't necessarily use social media, where they have those personal details that they may not want to share, but having a platform that they can build their confidence on using technology, but also be in touch with other students and get to know each other and share those experiences amongst each other. So, for example, there are students who perhaps they don't have social media and they're not keen on using that, but having a platform such as Discord, it only uses their name, it doesn't disclose their email address or anything like that, and it's a safe space for them that they know that there's other students from their course on there and they can ask a question and it's not a silly question, which can be such a fear for students, especially if they've been out of education for some time. So that's certainly one way that I would promote inclusivity. And I think certainly for me, it's encouraging students outside of Discord to continue those conversations in the classroom, in the corridors, in group tutorials or one-to-ones, to make sure that they feel that they are able to access things and that there is something for everyone in some way. When we set up Discord, this was actually encouraged by students. They wanted a platform that wasn't using Teams because they use Teams for university purposes. They wanted something where they can kind of separate from university but still have that sense of community. And at the end of the academic year, I asked students, certainly those who use Discord, to say, how did you feel about it? And a lot of students were really positive about it. They said that they felt so lonely, especially that we were during a lockdown. They didn't have face-to-face contact, but they knew there was always someone on this platform that they can ask questions to. If it wasn't to me, it was certainly to another peer. And one student said it was life-saving, which might seem a bit over the top. And even the student said this, but actually it meant a lot to them because without that community, they probably would have dropped out of university. And it was the students then who also encouraged us to continue on because they still wanted to keep in touch with each other as they progressed on to level 4. They'll be going through different routes, so they might not be in the same modules, but they wanted to keep in touch and see how everyone's getting on. But they also wanted to use it as a way that they could support new students coming in to foundation year. So you're starting to build that peer network of students. So based on that feedback, it was all very positive, we were able to continue it on for this year for new students and have that opportunity for them to ask questions and the previous foundation year students be able to support them. I think it's really important in that there tends to be a bit of a stigma with universities, certainly for students who maybe are the first to go to university, in that oh, it's really strict, it's very traditional, it's very, it's very old-fashioned in a way. And actually, we're far from that now. It's changed a lot. There's still a lot of work to do. But we want to kind of encourage to say that this is an opportunity for you to develop and grow as an individual. And, certainly for me, I think if I look back at my experience at university, I didn't go to a traditional university. I went to a college and did my degree there. And I had a very small network. So it was a huge shock for me to come to university to work, to go, wow, this is a lot bigger. But I can see why students get nervous and they get, it's about finding that community and sense of belonging. Not everyone will want to join a society. Not everyone will want to join a sports team. So it's finding what works for them. And I think that's, it means a lot to me that we can offer opportunities such as a platform where they can just ask questions and be assured that someone else has gone through a similar path as them. Yes, so certainly we're continuing on with the Discord platform for new students, and that's already been working. They've been joining it this week. But also I'm looking at how we can form communities and belonging within the classroom. Certainly last year it was really difficult to do that during lockdown, whilst having the opportunity to meet them face to face this time round. I think there's opportunities we can do, such as trips or more social activities that works with students as well, and getting them involved. Because as much as I can say, oh, that's a great idea, I'll do that, actually, if I'm not listening to what the students want, then it's not being inclusive, because I'm assuming, and it might not be the right assumption. So it's about getting students involved in that. And there's various ways, like certainly my practice when I'm marking work or setting assignments, is being mindful that perhaps not everyone is strong in their digital skills. So what can I do to help those students not feel out of their depth?